At the dawn of the 20th century, when football was still a novel idea in Spain, a man named Hans Gamper, later known as Joan Gamper, a Swiss sports enthusiast, placed an ad in a local newspaper to find players interested in forming a football club. On November 29, 1899, FC Barcelona was officially founded at a small meeting in the Gimnasio Sol. That moment marked the beginning of one of the most legendary journeys in world sports. From the start, FC Barcelona was not just a team, it was a cultural movement. With a unique identity tied to the Catalan region, the club became a symbol of local pride and resistance, especially during the Franco regime. While other clubs aligned with the central government, Barca became a spiritual haven for those seeking freedom of expression and cultural autonomy. In its early years, Barca faced many difficulties, from financial instability to lack of infrastructure, but thanks to the passion and leadership of Gamper, the club gradually established itself as a force in Catalan and Spanish football. The construction of the Les Corts Stadium in 1922 was a milestone that helped the club grow its fan base and lay the foundation for greater aspirations. After its founding, FC Barcelona quickly became a beloved team, but the early decades were full of challenges. Political unrest, civil war, and economic hardship repeatedly threatened the club's existence. During the Spanish Civil War, 1936 to 1939, the club suffered not only the destruction of facilities but also the tragic loss of President Josep Sunyol, who was executed by Francoist forces. Despite such trauma, the club stood strong as a bastion of Catalan identity, and matches often felt more like political demonstrations than just sporting events. Throughout the 1940s and 1950s, Barca experienced fluctuating fortunes. While it managed to win titles, including La Liga and Copa del Rey, it was often overshadowed by Real Madrid, especially after the arrival of Alfredo Di Stefano. Political favoritism from the Franco regime toward Real Madrid further exacerbated the rivalry. Nonetheless, legends like Ladislao Kubala brought new hope and inspired a generation of Kules, Barca fans. Kubala's flair and style of play captivated crowds, and his era marked the beginning of the modern Barca identity, a club that played not just to win but to entertain and uplift. In 1957, Camp Nou, the largest stadium in Europe, was officially inaugurated. It became a symbol of Barca's growing ambition and the passion of its supporters. More than just concrete and steel, Camp Nou was a temple of dreams where fans gathered not only to watch football but to live it. With a capacity exceeding 99,000, the stadium soon became a fortress. The arrival of players like Johan Cruyff as a player in the 1970s helped elevate the team's profile both domestically and internationally. Cruyff brought with him the total football philosophy from the Netherlands, which deeply influenced Barca's playing style. During this period, Barca also solidified its identity as a democratic and member-owned club. Every fan who became a socio had a voice in the club's decisions, reinforcing the ideal that Barca was more than just a club, it belonged to the people. When Johan Cruyff returned to Barcelona as a manager in 1988, he did not just take over a team, he began a revolution. His vision of football was clear: dominate possession, play beautiful football, and trust in youth. Cruyff created the Dream Team, featuring stars like Ronald Koeman, Michael Laudrup, Risto Stoichkov, and Pep Guardiola. In 1992, this team brought home Barcelona's first-ever European Cup, now UEFA Champions League, by defeating Sampdoria at Wembley Stadium. Beyond the trophies, Cruyff established a philosophy that became the club's core identity. He emphasized La Masia, Barca's youth academy, and ensured that all levels of the club played with the same tactical system. His impact was so profound that even decades later, his influence could be seen in the way Barcelona approached every match. Founded in 1979, La Masia became one of the most renowned football academies in the world. Its mission was not only to produce technically gifted players, but to instill in them the Barca values: humility, intelligence, teamwork, and passion. Over the years, La Masia produced footballing legends like Pep Guardiola, Xavi Hernandez, Andrés Iniesta, and, of course, Lionel Messi. These players didn't just play for the badge. They lived and breathed the club's philosophy. The golden generation of La Masia was the backbone of Spain's dominance in world football between 2008 to 2012, winning Euro 2008, World Cup 2010, and Euro 2012. These same players were also instrumental in Barca's most successful period in club history. When Lionel Messi arrived at Barca as a 13-year-old boy from Rosario, Argentina, few could have predicted he would become the greatest player in the club's history. Diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency, Messi's treatment was funded by Barca, a decision that changed football forever. Messi made his first team debut in 2004 and quickly mesmerized the world with his dribbling, vision, and goal-scoring prowess. Playing under coaches like Frank Rijkaard and Pep Guardiola, he became the fulcrum of an all-conquering side. From 2009 to 2015, Messi led Barcelona to numerous titles, including 4 Champions League trophies and multiple La Liga crowns. His partnership with Suarez and Neymar formed the legendary MSN trio, striking fear into defenses across Europe. Messi's loyalty and humility made him a symbol of the club. With 672 goals in 778 appearances, he became Barca's all-time leading scorer. His emotional departure in 2021 marked the end of an era, but his legacy remains eternal. Appointed in 2008, Pep Guardiola ushered in the most successful era in Barca's history. In his first season, he led the team to a historic treble: La Liga, Copa del Rey, and UEFA Champions League. Guardiola's tiki-taka style, focused on possession, quick passing, and spatial control, revolutionized modern football. With players like Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, and Messi at their peak, Barca played mesmerizing football that earned praise from fans and experts alike. In 2009, the club won all 6 available trophies, an unprecedented feat: the 2011 Champions League final at Wembley, where Barca outclassed Manchester United, is often cited as one of the greatest performances in football history. Guardiola left in 2012, citing exhaustion, but his impact lived on. He set new standards in coaching, preparation, and tactical innovation that influenced coaches worldwide. Following Pep's departure, Barca remained competitive but struggled with consistency. Despite winning titles under Luis Enrique, including the treble in 2015, mismanagement and poor financial decisions began to haunt the club. Expensive signings like Dembele, Coutinho, and Griezmann failed to live up to expectations. The COVID-19 pandemic exacerbated financial woes, and the club plunged into debt. In 2021, due to salary cap regulations, Barca had to part ways with Messi, shaking the football world. The resignation of President Josep Bartomeu and the return of Joan Laporta marked the beginning of a rebuilding phase. Young talents like Pedri, Gavi, and Ansu Fati brought hope, while the appointment of Xavi as head coach reconnected the club with its philosophical roots. Currently, Barca is on a path of reconstruction, both financially and competitively. With Xavi at the helm, the team won La Liga in the 2022 to 2023 season, signaling a promising revival. New stars like Lamine Yamal and Alejandro Balde, along with experienced players like Ter Stegen and De Jong, are forging a new identity for the team. Despite temporary relocation during Camp Nou's renovation, fans remain united in support. Projects like Espai Barca aim to modernize infrastructure and ensure long-term stability. The balance between tradition and innovation is central to the club's recovery strategy. Barcelona is more than a club, it is a cultural beacon, a symbol of resistance, and a standard-bearer of beautiful football. Its legacy transcends trophies and statistics. Through the values of creativity, humility, solidarity, and excellence, Barca has inspired millions. It stands not only as a football team, but as a way of life, a belief, an ideal. In the hearts of culés around the world, Barcelona is a dream that never fades, a legend that lives on with every pass, every cheer, every moment on the pitch.